I'll start. Okay, I will share now. So I'll be sharing with you a little bit about graphic design today. Okay, this is not just all the parts of graphic design. Okay, this is just like part of graphic design, because graphic design, it's everywhere. You know, it's so there's so many things that we see is mostly all attached to graphic design. So how graphic design actually brings impact to our lives, right? Graphic design communicates in various ways. It is basically everywhere now, especially now. I don't want to mention that it's during the pandemic. Now everyone is relying all on technology. Okay, so graphic design, one thing is important is because technology now is actually go in hand together with art and design, with graphic design, in order to communicate, in order to sell, in order to actually speak to everyone in the world now. Okay, now combination of art and design and technology is a powerful tool. Okay, so it's like you apply a superpower in things. So when you actually learn graphic design, right, it's like you will have a superpower in order to actually build a lot of different things. Okay, so we try to actually gain this kind of superpower when we learn graphic design. All right, now over the last 2 decades, technology have changed everything. Okay, even how we communicate people, how we actually see things, how we see our health, whether our health is good or not, whether how we actually do exercise, how we monitor our lives, how we actually buy things online, everything is all related to handphone. Okay, we imagine, right, the British research, it says that we check our phone 220 times a day. So can you imagine how many times we actually look at our phone? So it's so crazy. It's really crazy, because now our life is mostly associated with social media, Instagram, Facebook, even like Twitter, on Weixin, you know, everything. Okay, so everything is on the phone now. Now, design is a responsibility, I feel, because it actually is a design that shapes our future. All right. During the olden times, we normally see that we look at all these album covers. Yeah, it's all being done by graphic designers since very long time ago. Okay. And you can see that we always buy CDs. Your grandfather, grandmother, your father, all, they actually look at all this type of like CD covers. Okay, then they will actually buy the music. But nowadays, it's different, because nowadays we are basically looking at things all on phone. Okay, and we as designers, right, when we look things on the phone, we will tend to get attracted to all the design that is designed by graphic designers to create the album cover out. Okay, and then we as designers also, we try to put it into lists, like what is the favorite, what is the most popular music that people are listening to, what are the recently played, and we also can check our friends what they are listening to also. So technology has changed the way of how we look at music as well. All right. Now, if we look at most of the apps, okay, now when we want to actually travel, we go overseas or anything, we have to actually go and do a lot of research in terms of like where we want to go. Okay, and normally we will rely all this on apps. Yeah. So if we look at this app here, it's all designed by designers, graphic designers. So you look at all the graphics, yeah, it's all done by graphic designers, okay? And then this one also, this app is done by graphic designers who want to teach about exercises, how to exercise, which part that we should build to make our part to increase more endurance, that we can run faster. So we educate people in featuring video to show them previews of the apps, you know. So this is to learn about bicycle, how we can actually go from one place to another, and all these apps from traveling to one place to another is all done by graphic designers. Okay, so imagine apps that we create is so powerful that we also, after we do all these apps already, we want to sell the apps also. So this is actually done by one of our students. Okay, she created an app, something like Facebook, but it's actually for designers, like how designer meet other designers. So she created this whole thing out, and then she actually create a short video of the marketing part of the app to show you. So you can see all this is done by all the software that is taught in the MIA. Okay. Okay, so you can actually see that it's very high technology because our students, we actually tell them to, you know, learn the latest software in order to build their their design even more stronger. So this is actually how we actually tell them to present for their work in future. Okay, so it's very professional, yeah, because we are actually talking about, because it's design is very competitive outside. So a lot of like designers nowadays, they learn all this design, they learn graphic design already, then they apply the software that they learn, and then they put it into their whole portfolio, and that's how they actually present their work nowadays. Okay. Now, graphic design is also, it applies into news. All right. If you look at most of the cursor, okay, you can see that this is actually how people design newspaper, brochures, yeah. We actually try to apply a language or design that when people read, right, it's easier for them to see. We also try to incorporate illustration, graphic design, and all this into like news in order for people to understand how things can be looked up, you know, looked upon, that it looks so interesting that when we look at magazine, we look at book, right, it all looks like, you know, that it's so attractive that we will actually go and buy the book or magazine or anything to read, although we don't read, but sometimes we look at all the picture, right? How many of you that when you see all these magazines, books and everything, you see got very nice comic, very nice graphic design, then you will tend to pick it up, and then you all will see, I like it, then actually I will buy. So news is about something like that, because we have to actually try to design something that is very appropriate for all of them to see, to attract them. Because if you don't do graphic design in a way that it looks so appealing, so strong, nobody wants to see, okay? So it's very important, okay? Now in graphic design, we also have branding agencies that creates the logos like this, and we also play with typography design, that means words, especially like our graphic design, we will design like all this ESPN, all this motion graphics, right? Okay, it's actually done by graphic design, because in social media, graphic design plays a very important role that allows technology to work in TV channels that uses different platforms. Okay, so all this you can see is mostly playing with animated series of graphic design inside. So you choose by simply using the elements to create the animation, and we combine colors together. Okay, so we create a very memorable news. It's like a dream of tomorrow. So graphic designers do all these things also. So not necessarily they say graphic design only do partly just art and printing. No, now graphic design is mostly, we actually bring it out, and we can actually use it in any profession already. Okay, in news, in even, okay, we talk about transportation. Okay, I want to share with you a little bit of transportation, like how graphics designers actually impact by creating the Google map. They work with engineers, okay, to actually create this kind of Google map, okay, to design so that people, when they read the map or when they want to go from one place to another, we try to make their life easier by instructing, telling them where to go. So our map must be very clever, okay? So graphic designers, we design all this form of map as well. So
there was a time when getting around was a lot more complicated. It required planning, difficult to fold maps, arguing with spouses, and often needing to stop and ask for directions. But 15 years ago, that changed. Today, digital map apps like Google, Apple, and Waze can navigate around traffic, remind you where you parked, and even notify you about natural disasters.
It's hard to imagine a time before we had these apps.
Head west, then turn left.
And Google Maps is dominating. It has become essential in the daily lives of its over 1 billion monthly users. It's mapped more than 220 countries and territories, and is updated tens of thousands of times a day. When Maps first debuted, Google said it was designed to simplify how to get from point A to point B. After a decade of investing, collecting data, and billions of images, it not only dominates the navigational app market, but it's one of the most popular smartphone apps of the last 10 years.
So you can see like even this icon, right, the Google one for the map, because if you look at Google, they have a lot of different icons. It's actually all designed by graphic designers. So we have to work very closely with engineers to actually create every area of the map. That's why sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, right? All these engineers, they will put the camera on top of the car, and then they will actually travel to different places to capture and update, so that graphic designers will get the update already. Then they will actually post it onto the Google map website. Okay, so that's how we can actually work in transportation as well, right?
There was a time.
So if you look at all this, right, signages, maps, road signs, when you actually go overseas, okay, you will see all these maps on the street. This is what we call wayfinding, okay? So all this wayfinding are all very specifically designed by graphic designers, okay? Even all these symbol, pictograms, where to go is also very important for people to understand. So we have to take very high responsibility of designing all these pictograms for people, right? So if you look at this wayfinding, okay, graphic designers will take another step further. They will look at all these maps, right, in the way that they will actually try to actually design illustrations, okay? They will study the map already, then they will actually design the illustrations. And then the illustration, sometimes you have to know that it has to be a bit more kiddie, it has to be more serious, or it has to be a bit more colorful, all right? So sometimes people, they will, like government, they will come up to us and then they will ask you, hey, I want you to design something for Malaysia, okay? I want you to design something like, oh, it's Christmas already coming soon. I want you to design a street that shows maybe the event, what is going to be in the map. Okay, so we all have to actually take this responsibility, applying what we learned about graphic design and making it as outstanding and as beautiful and as pretty as possible, so that when anybody look at it, right, they will be able to, oh, wow, this whole map is so interesting that I want to apply this into, I want to go here, okay? So all these maps are basically one of a feature a lot of graphic designers will actually work into designing all these things. Okay, so I can show you like what graphic designers, right? Because internet is really, really big, okay? So sometimes designers, we have this passion that we want to do more. We just don't do the map, but sometimes we want to create something a bit more extraordinary. For example, graphic designers would come up with their research like this, the power of 10 meters. So it's like from 10 meters to the satellite, how does it actually look like? So we can have a look at this. So this is all by 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. So how does it look like from a distance? So yeah, graphic designers can be crazy, okay? We can actually do things like this in order to capture certain areas of things to the satellite. And then from the satellite, okay, back to human nature. So this is actually quite amazing, yeah. By the way, this is actually done by my friend, okay, over in the US. So yeah, it's very creative, okay. And sometimes you want to do something nice for yourself and or for your friends, okay. Like this one, I'm going to show you, okay. This is an invitation card that is designed for my friend who is actually getting married, okay. So Mike and Karen, so they wanted to do something a bit more graphic design that when they give the invitation, or it's not like just a plain invitation that when you see and then you will throw it away, okay? But this is something that you want to see and then you want to keep it as like a souvenir, because I find that if you normally in Malaysia, right, you give all this invitation, we see, we go already, and then we throw away, or we sometimes we just like, you know, leave it somewhere and then we just put it in our phone only, okay? But this is something very interesting. So it's called a paper record player, okay? So for Mike and Karen. So featuring an original song, they want to invite you to go to their wedding, okay? So it's like a little thing for you to do. It's like fold the line, okay? It's all using paper mechanism, paper, okay? Paper and nut and a little needle. Then you can create things like this. Yeah, so yeah, Karen and Mike. So this is something that you want to actually keep for life. Yeah. So graphic designers, we will design from the icon, okay, into the character, into like the packaging design, into like selecting carefully the paper, and then we also will create the mechanism of the music inside. Okay. Last time I did actually share with some people that we can even create like a paper camera also, that through one piece of paper you can fold, and it becomes a camera that you can actually just take photo also. So amazing lah, okay, what graphic designers can do. All right. Okay, you can also apply graphic design into shopping, all right? Design has changed the way of how we buy things. Now, normally we buy things is by Lazada, by Shopee, okay, by Taobao, okay, by AliExpress, Weixin. There's so many different platforms for us to buy things. But imagine if you can actually buy a face mask, okay, through a website that you can put in the design that you want, you know, okay? For example, for me, I want to, because now if you don't wear mask, it's a bit funny. So when you actually wear mask already, right, okay, you want to, 这个是我的 identity 来的, okay? So what kind of mask would you want to wear to represent yourself? We all, as a designer, right, we are we care for our attire, our identity a lot, okay? So sometimes we will do this one. So this website is like why the face mask is so good, because you can see that you can just add any design, okay? Can be rainbow color also. You can ask them to produce the face mask for you, okay? So you can also choose in terms of selecting from any designs that they offer, okay, in this website, all right? Or like you can see all this is you can just buy off from them one. It's all cloth one, okay? Or you can even simply upload your design, any design that you like, okay? So it's very different on how we buy things nowadays, because now things are all online already, okay? I think we all are those kind that we don't dare to even go out now, okay? So sometimes we want to make ourselves happier. How we make things happier? By doing all these things, okay? So graphic design, we tend to actually think of new ways or new idea in order to attract people to buy things like this, okay? I can tell you the person who actually built this website is a graphic designer also, and he or she, right, when he built the graphic design, right, he can also sell his own design here. So isn't that amazing also? Yeah. So it's so cool lah. Okay. Now sooner or later, right, Lazada or Shopee will be outdated really long. Okay. Why? I'll let you know. Watch this video. So it's called 3D virtual mall.
Discover our unique and innovative 3D virtual mall and explore the latest shopping opportunities offered by SurferNet and its 3D knot technology. Enter a fully immersive experience, virtually walking through the aisles of our shopping center while visiting any of our 3D stores. As a business owner, consider the amazing opportunities that come from having not only a 3D online presence, but also owning a unique store, open to customers from all over the world, 24 hours a day, the whole year. Sell your products or services, create new offers and promotions, and connect with your customers directly to get the results you expect. Visitors to your virtual shop will be able to browse through your e-catalog, watch company and product videos, and even speak or chat with sales associates. What could be a better way to enhance your overall business presence than being part of this 3D shopping experience? Do not miss this opportunity and reserve your virtual space now.
So if you can see that graphic design, right?
Business owner, consider.
Okay, graphic design nowadays we don't need interior designs. We don't need like architects or whatsoever to build this virtual, because it's virtual, right? So imagine in this virtual mall nowadays and now, okay, graphic design is implementing this kind of software that we can actually teach you. Is all by 3D modeling and also After Effects software that we can teach students, right, to build all these virtual signages, all right, that you can see the signboards, the design even inside the kiosk or inside the shop itself, okay. All this space, the background, okay, the logo, the design, everything is basically all done by graphic designers, okay. So this is the latest trend now. Everyone is trying to implement a 3D virtual mall, okay. They are in the progress of doing it. Of course, it's nothing like going to the real mall, but this one, sometimes when we actually have this, right, it will give us at least some hope, okay, some hope in life that we still can go to malls, but virtually. We can still go and see and shop. It's coming soon, okay? It's just that it will take a bit of time for people, for graphic designers, and also all these marketing people, okay, to build this kind of platform for people, all right? So it will be sooner or later arriving already. So we just have to be patient to wait, okay? Thanks to whatever that's happening now. So you can see there's so many jobs for graphic designers to create lah, yeah? Now, how about film? Some people, they tell me, hey, actually in film also can work as graphic designers. Can. Why? Let's take a look at this. So this is a movie called Her, okay?
What's drawing your attention in this sequence? How about this one? And this one? What about this one? Graphic design is a visual art and production design component in film that can be showcased as an essential story, plot, or location element, or become part of the background, reducing its prominence, but still maintaining its importance in world-making. When Spike Jonze started putting together his team for Her, he appointed frequent collaborator Jeff McFetridge as graphical futurist designer, the subway map, Amy's video editing suite, the buttons on the elevator, Theodore's computer OS, emails, and the way in which he interacts with them, and even the opening and closing credits. As graphical futurist designer, Jeff McFetridge's unique style and approach to visualizing technology in the future was a key component to creating such a comfortable and optimistic environment in Her. Everything that he created invites us in, and envelops us in a warmth and a comfort that makes the future Los Angeles a relatable place in which we can all see ourselves living out our lives. But the graphic design elements are just a piece of what makes her such an incredible movie.
Okay, you can see that the future of us graphic designers, right? We are actually called graphic futurist designers, okay? We are the futuristic graphic designers that will design all this, okay? It's actually in film, in transportation, in virtual malls and everything, right? Okay, we are basically branded as futurist design. Well, isn't it so nice to call ourselves graphic futurist designers, okay? So if you look at film also, one thing with film, right, instead of like having a director, producer, we also must actually work with like illustration designers. We have to work with interior designers, architects, fashion, like you see this guy, how he wear also. So all this also, after when everything is being structured, right, graphic designers will try to create the film and put everything together, okay? So also the map, you can see the things on the screen and elevator inside the lift, okay? So all these components are all designed by graphic designers, especially if you look at Harry Potter, okay, or Lord of the Rings. Most of the things that they create inside, right, is all done by graphic designers, okay? Okay, so I just want to show you a video of the amazing 2021 advertising, okay? Now, advertising has gone to the next level already. Last time we only had 2D signboards, okay? Then it went to 3D. Then now it's mostly interactive moving images because we are futurist designers, so we have to design something that's moving one. So what you are about to see, right, is all the opportunity that was given to graphic designers to design for people's notification and entertainment. So it has to be entertaining people now, because if we have advertising just 2D signboard, right, nobody want to see. They want to see moving already. Imagine, because our phone is all moving, right? If don't move, then cannot lah, right? So let's have a look at the signs of the world now with real, what we call is immersive advertising. Okay, so you can see that through the advertising, right? Okay, we also create all this display, like, you know, normally we will actually create, like our client will say, oh, you have to actually create like this, 这个 size 是怎么样的. So when we actually have this size ready, then we have to create the effect of the water falling, okay? It will replay and replay and replay. This is what we call GIF animation. So GIF animation, I think you all can create with using your handphone app already, okay? But this is something bigger because now this handphone app, right, okay, is transposed to something bigger. So we have to snapshot in terms of the water flowing, all right? And we have to actually let it play again and again and again. So it will create like the background of the water, okay? So if we look at like some parts of the video here, okay, like all this, I'm sure that you can see in Pavilion, like all this live thing, I'm sure you all see like in shopping malls, especially in China and also Pavilion, Malaysia, okay, during Chinese New Year, they had all this 3D featuring of things coming out from the screen, okay? So this is what we call augmented reality, okay? So augmented reality, where we have this kind of 3D things, right? Okay, we work very closely with 3D engineers in order to come up with this called 3D augmented realization. Okay, so we as graphic designers, how we actually do things is that we will design the character of the lion, of the giraffe, of the zebra, and also the car, the tree, the rock, all how does it look like? And then we will send it to the specialists and they will actually create the whole thing out. All right, so that's how it's being implemented by the role of a graphic designer, because we don't just work things on our own. We have to work things with different people depending on like which field you are in, or whether you're in film, you're in augmented reality, 3D, billboard, signs. It all depends on where you're working at, okay? But you don't have to do everything by yourself, don't worry lah, okay? So if you look at all these billboards and also this touch screen, okay? Touchscreen is also one thing that is being used like during the early 2000s, okay? You can actually just touch the screen and navigate where. So nowadays, right, you can actually just see, especially when you go shopping malls, you can also click and to see where you are in order to find your way as well, okay? Now, sometimes also now we can click, right, to see, especially if you go McDonald's, okay, McD, right? You can also order, everything is all touchscreen now. Now, touchscreen is going to be the future, okay? There's no more of like those paper and pen anymore, okay? And there's no like print out receipts in future. So everything is going to be ordered all on touchscreen if you were to go to the shop. Now, next time, right, in the futuristic shops, right? Okay, we are futurist designers. We go to futuristic shops, okay? We don't need to actually have an attendant there. Sometimes we can just press the item that you want. There will be a kiosk, like a screen like that, okay? You can press the item, you pay money through the credit card, or you put in, actually now we don't use cash also lah. It's mostly touch and go, okay? We can use the different apps to do payment, and then the product will immediately come out from the from the kiosk already. Okay, so this will be our future, because nowadays, because we try not to have like human to human interaction. I know it's very, very sad, okay, but this is what it is. This is the future. Okay, so all this touch screen, it will have its own screen sanitizing also. Okay, so all this engineers will think of all the mechanics. We as designers, right, we will this design in terms of like, oh, MACD, what meals we have, then we have to lay it out very nicely, and then the person, the technician, will put everything in placement. So you don't have to do all this like calculation, don't worry. You just have to actually do the design of the burgers of MACDs and then pass it to the technician to put it on the touch screen only. All right, so it's not 很辛苦的东西来的. Okay, so we only do the design and then we just submit only. All right, so if you look at other things also, like basically all this on okay, if you look at all this, they wear all this what we call this 3D frames, okay, the goggles and all this that they wear, right? Okay, it's called the user experience. Okay, nowadays we all try not to, we all as designers, right, we are coming up with a new way of not wearing the goggles anymore, because we feel that wearing the goggles is one thing, is very heavy, and after a while when you wear it, it's very hot. Okay, so we are trying to come up with something like maybe a sunglasses. Okay, still in the process of making the sunglasses to create like some of like a 3D virtual world for people. Okay, so these are all going to be like so-called outdated soon. So, but this is like just came out new only, you know, but we are coming up with something a bit smaller and slimmer now. Okay, so as I said, all these virtual reality things, right, you just have to wait, because the more you wait, right, the more you will see like the world is changing already. Okay, because then you will see that design slowly, one by one, all this design is coming up, because it's by the help of graphic designers and a lot of different types of people helping, technicians. All right, okay, I'm just going to show you some show reel of the most amazing MIA graphic design students. Okay, our students, we actually have like a lot of them doing this kind of things already at MIA. Okay, because we upgraded our syllabus, we make sure that we want to fit all the students who actually come to MIA to study, right, to study what is for the future. You are all the futuristic graphic designers. So how does this actually look like? Okay, so I'm just going to show you some work of our students who compile everything, okay, of their work into an interactive video, so that it's also very entertaining for you all to see lah. Okay, because we are very amazing ma, we are the futuristic one ma. Okay, so I will show you now 4 show reels, and then after that we will have more, we will end this talk lah. Okay, I'll just show you more. So this is from our designers, students.
Wanna know what's coming? Get the party straight jumping. Man, I'm so trying to be something. Y'all know what's coming. Get the party straight jumping.
Okay, so this is actually from one of our students who is who has graduated, just graduated me. So I'll show you another one. So this student, he loves animation, he loves illustration, so he created this. This student, right, he created the work, right? He's a graphic design student, but he told me that he said, Miss, actually, I like doing graphic design and illustration. Can I still take graphic design? I said, can. One thing you learn about illustration in our course already in graphic design, right? Okay, because graphic is not only all purely graphic, but we will also teach you in terms of like how to come up with the correct illustration, okay, for the specific designs that you need to create. Okay, so you can actually do like 2-in-1 in our course, because this illustration and graphic design mostly is all integrated together one. Okay, so when you actually create illustration, right, you can also learn in terms of like how to sell it out, okay, how to market it, how to actually put it into like this kind of video to sell yourself. That's the most important thing that as graphic designers you need to know. All right, so this student has also successfully, created all his love for illustration, and then he applied into, he uses graphic design and use it in a way that he can be able to execute and sell his artwork to other people. Okay, all right, I'll show you another showreel by another graphic student. Okay, so last one, but not the this is the latest one that we have, recent one of our graduate. Okay, I think that's all that I have for today. Okay, so this is actually what we all as graphic designers, we all do, and also you've seen some of the showreels that's done by my students already. Okay, the students, they have already created all their work and they are ready to actually go and venture into the world. Okay, so thank you on my side. This is actually what I have to share for today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Miss Tan Ai Ching. So 学生们，你们 so far 都 get 到老师在 share 什么吗？你们有什么问题都可以在那个屏幕下方的 chat box 问啊。OK， 所以其实大家有没有想过，其实 graphic design 其实是不再像以前这样子，就是很局限，也是平面设计这样。就老师 share 过后，就有很多啊，就譬如说，也可以做成梦，也可以弄成电影这样子，都让我真的是很震撼。我不知道你们的想法是这样，可以在那个 chat box 一起聊咯。OK， 好。
或者是如果学生在想着那个问题的时候，我这里也做一个补充吧，因为刚才老师想要表达的就是除了那个 graphic design 平面设计是我们以往想到的那种平面来 print ads 啊，然后呢我们做那种 typography、photography、photoshop 的东西之外，因为时代呢会一直不断的进步，所以其实设计呢，尤其是平面设计，已经在我们的生活里面是脱离不了所有的这种关联跟关系，所以呢，为了迎合市场的需求，当然我们也会把课程的这个需求呢，迎合了这个市场上面的需求，所以呢，我们也把这数码的一些媒体设计呢编在我们的课程里面。所以以往我们学的平面设计来那种 corporate identity、logo、name card、T-shirt、billboard、banting leaflets、packaging design， 然后那种 print ads 像 magazines、newspaper， 或者是餐厅的 menus。或者是even一个poster 一个唱片的封面，或者是一张 greeting card， 这一些呢都跟平面设计有关之外，那我们因为现在数码媒体的这个发展很迅速，所以你可以看到 mall 里面的那种 AR， 或者是你可以看到那种 multimedia 里面的 website， 或者是 motion graphic、interactive design， 都会在我们的课程里面可以学得到。所以我们整个 diploma in graphic design 的课程2年半的话呢，它分成6个学期来完成。所以呢，整个课程的这种subject 呢科目呢，都会编在你们的这种学习的地方。所以这2年半的课程里面呢，我们当然也会安排学生去 intern 实习，所以学生呢可以透过实习啦，或者是在你们读书的时候会参加一些校外的比赛呢，增加自己的这种经验。同时间呢，我们也会安排学生的毕业作品展览，所以你可以看到 MIA 的每个学生呢，他们要毕业之前都会有自己的一个作品集，所以你们在 compile 你们在这里所有做过的作品，然后呢，有了这些作品，你们去 interview 的时候给人家看你们的作品，往往呢就取决于你今天能不能够拿到一个好的工作，你的薪水高低，跟能不能够进到一些大公司里面，都会取决于你们所 show 给别人看的那个 show reel。所以我们的老师的责任呢，就是非常的重大的，要怎么去引导这些学生呢，去把你们在这里应该学的迎合市场需求的一些知识，跟你们要怎么去完成作品，让你们在这2年半里面 observe， 然后呢 observe 出来，然后呢变成自己应该要去完成的，然后呢可以帮助你们在 industry 里面找到一个很好的工作。So 当然这个课程的入学标准呢，就是我们还是会看你们 is either SBM 或是统考的成绩。所以 SBM 的学生呢，就需要有3个C， 什么科目都可以。那 MIA 的这个入学标准没有说你一定要有美术，一定要有英文、数学，我们都没有特别的specific。如果你们只有3颗 C， 马来文史教几个就可以了。Alright， 如果是 U17 的学生读中生，那你们只需要说在统考里面有3科 B6 的成绩，就可以入学我们这个课程。那我们这个 graphic design 的 diploma 课程或是其他 diploma 课程，今年的最后一个入学时间会在9月6号，也就是说你们还有时间可以把你们的这些想要读的主修跟你们的报名的一些资料呢，可以submit上来给我们。那我看到这里有学生的问题 ，graphic design 在马来西亚的出路会是怎么样？老师你要回答还是我回答
？I say graphic design for future, you can see so many. Can hear? 可以听到吗
？Can be louder.
Louder. Okay, I very loud already. I shout already. Can hear or not?
很萌哦，声音。你调一下，我先回答，等下你再补充啊。Alright， 基本上 graphic design 刚才老师有提到，因为我们在生活里面 graphic design 已经跟我们脱离不了设计的这种很重要的关系，所以以前你看一般上那种 print 出来的东西都是 graphic designer 做的，包括说从我们以前你的外公外婆他们的那个年代到爸爸妈妈的年代到我们现在年代呢，都跟 graphic design 有很密切的关系，包括电影的这个 industry， 包括commercial 的 industry， 包括我们生活里面的可能，因为你只是去一个补习中心，然后或者是一个唱片行，或者是一些产品公司，他们都需要很好的 graphic designer， 因为我们这里简称来讲，只要跟文字 typography、图片 Photoshop photography 还有颜色结合在一个版位 ，no matter 它是在你摸得到的平面的东西，或者是在电脑上面的，在电视的。 或者是在广告牌的，或者是在 shopping mall 里面，在屏幕里面，都跟这些有关的，都是 graphic design 他们可以去工作的地方。所以你可以看到，基本上在设计的领域里面 ，graphic design 呢是一个出路非常广，再加上我们这个课程呢也编入了这个 digital media 进来，所以我们学生呢可以往更多方面的地方去学习。刚才老师也提到，像我们学生也有做 illustration， 也有做 animation， 然后又有 motion graphic， 又有 interactive design， 然后他们又可以去做一些 advertising agency 的工作，然后也可以去做平面设计、出版 print ads、publication。所以你可以看到，这些都是你们毕业出来可以工作的方向跟企业的地方。再加上呢 ，MI 本身呢会有实习，然后呢我们会参加很多的比赛，加上学生呢也有做作品展览，加上我们也是马来西亚第一间设计艺术学校呢，我们栽培了很多 designer。比如从我们建立MIA 的时候 ，graphic design 已经是我们的课程，所以我们可以讲 graphic design 已经是在马来西亚里面我们是第一间提供的设计课程。所以如果说你们拥有了这些好的作品，你们去 interview 会遇到很多 MIA 的毕业生，所以会为你们在找工作拿到一个工作里面会加很多的分数。I think
can you hear me better now? Hear me better already?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the future of graphic design is 哇很多很多 you can do a lot of things. 我有学生是做 graphic design 了 then she actually go and venture and go into film, you know. So and then now she's earning so much money as one of the graphic film director. So you can actually do a lot of things. So multimedia and graphic design now, there's no separation already. If you do graphic design, you will learn a lot of multimedia things. Okay, so that's why if you come to graphic design, you have a lot of things that you will learn that is sufficient enough for multimedia. Okay, it's good enough. And the salary, as I'm looking at, right, is actually very high compared to like, you know, a normal, how to say, business person or engineer, because designing now, we are the future, ma. Everything is, we can do online already, you know, we can do all on internet already. So anything that they ask us to do, right, we do already, we will build them. There will be a lot of money that will be actually coming in terms of salary. I can guarantee you that 每一天我看我的 email 啊，每一天都有人是讲你有学生吗 ？Okay, who wants to become a graphic designer or multimedia designer？ 每一天我跟你讲 ，OK， 很烦哎。So I can tell you there's a lot of opportunity to become to earn as a graphic designer. OK， 没问题的。OK， you don't have to worry. I can guarantee you， 跟你讲。OK。So this is my side now. Whatever that I need to explain, Joe has explained 是很多了，是 very professional, very good. Okay, this is what you tell. This is like what I have in mind. But you speak very well in Chinese. Thank you very much.
其实我们还要再补充，就是其实设计的话，你如果说我们今天学 graphic design， 你不仅仅只是学一个主修，因为设计的领域是很多不同的主修一起合作，共同去完成一个作品。所以如果说你们对于 multimedia、对于 animation、illustration， 甚至是 fine art 有兴趣的话，其实不同的主修的学生，他当有一个大 project 来的时候，或者是一个比赛来的时候，他们其实都会 interactive。大家都会互相配合，大家学习大家的专业，共同去完成一个设计的制作。所以呢，在这个 industry 里面，其实呢，我们也会involve 到很多不同的 design 的 concept 啦 idea， 然后你们也可以跨很多不同的领域。那以后你们毕业也不会局限自己只是在 graphic design 的 agency 里面工作，因为你们学习的东西多，你 involve 的东西多，当然你出来找工作的时候，你就有权利去选择你想要的未来的一个路线哦。所以这个就是为什么我们要把这么多课程编在这里，让你们能够尽量的去学习。最重要在 MA 上课呢，我们老师不会让每个学生成为某某某，比如说哦 Joe 很厉害，然后每个学生都要跟 Joe 学一样的东西。No， 设计本身没有最厉害，也没有最差，也没有最完美。只是说你们的兴趣在哪一个 area， 老师呢就是一个催化剂，他会用他们的专业引导你们怎么去 research， 怎么去做设计，把你的 idea 呢 present 在你的功课里面。当每个学生出来呢，都有自己最强的 portfolio in order 去找一个工作。因为 industry 里面不能够每一个人都是 Joe， 每个人都向 Joe 学习 Joe 的东西，因为每个人都有自己的专业，每个 industry 都有他需要的人才。所以呢，我们要怎么去塑造你们 as 一个人才呢？去迎合市场上面的需求，这就是老师要做的东西。所以你们不用担心说哦，我毕业出来找不到工作啊，我没有工作啊，或者是 每个人都读 graphic 啊，这样子不是很难竞争啊，很难找饭吃，因为设计本身就不会被淘汰。也不会说哦，我取代你，你取代我，只是说你是不断的在不同的阶段、不同的年龄去进步，那你就可以去找到自己想要的工作。
Actually, I want to add because there's this student who say that she's scared that she study graphic design is very limited. Okay, I don't think it's very limited because now everyone, as I show you all, is more about social media already. So if you were to study graphic design, right, there's a lot of things that you can learn in order to expand. Joe, that's why I don't know how to say expand the boundaries.
伸展、延伸。你读 graphic design， 你会延伸到很多不同的领域、不同的设计的专业去，所以你们可以跨很多不同。像 graphic design 呢，也可以去做 multimedia 的工作，也可以去做 illustrator， 也可以去做 animation 的工作。只是说，如果你对 animation 有兴趣，你在读这 graphic 的时候，你自己要去额外多去学习、吸收这方面的专业，再配合你自己的专长，这样你毕业出来就可以去找到很多不同方面的工作去完成。
OK，so 像我这边学生有问他讲说，如果我好像是 diploma 拿了的话，我可能 graphic design 这样，我 degree 我想要读 interior design 这样子是可以的嘛？他们有这样问。
会比较难因为每一个主修的课程，他们要读的 subjects 呢有自己的专业的 subjects 所以如果你读 diploma in graphic design， 因为你读的该就是我们讲的那些专业，interior design 要读的是 structure building architecture floor plans， 然后 even software 可能他们学 AutoCAD 3D Max， 可能graphic design 学的Photoshop InDesign 这些可能它有一些subject 的科目不太一样。当你要双联过去的时候呢，它不是说不能，而可能你要花很长的时间去完成。比如说，一般上如果你是 diploma in graphic design， 你读了2年半，你进去 degree 读 graphic， 或者是 multimedia relevant subject 的话，你可能需要1年、1年半、2年就可以完成。如果你是 graphic design 的学生，你要转到去 interior design， 你要转去可能不是 relevant 的 major， 你可能需要花3年，或者甚至3年半，所以它的时间会拉长。所以一般学生也不会愿意去做这么长的 duration。当然，如果你觉得时间没有问题的话，当然没有问题，因为设计本身呢，大家学的东西是相似，只是说如果你要跨 major 的话，你会花长一点的时间去完成。
OK， 好，谢谢。OK， 然后这边有学生是问说，如果是想要住宿什么这种，他们是说学校有没有安排是什么？
对 ，MIA 我们本身有提供宿舍，宿舍都是在我们学院的附近，其实走路都可以到。所以如果说一般上我们学生他们如果报读我们的课程的话，你可以看到这些是我们宿舍的一些只是简单的东西，有看到 screen 吗？对不对？
有的，有的。
OK， 那基本上我们宿舍呢都会有一个部门的老师会安排，所以我们宿舍呢，你可以看到左手边的宿舍，他们有泳池，然后呢有 gym room， 然后宿舍里面都会有那种厨房啊，然后冰厨、洗衣机，然后有冷气。这一般上呢每个月的收费，如果是 sharing 3个人或者2个人房间是300多到400多左右。如果说有一些学生喜欢单人房呢，一般上是500到600之间，所以到时候我们都会安排的。如果说学生对于宿舍有兴趣的话，想要了解，那也可以透过我们的升学中心的相关负责人，或者是也可以透过我，然后去了解我们宿舍的一些问题。
然后因为现在学生他们是担心，就是说因为疫情嘛，他们想说这种比较 art 的话，是不是如果现在政府 announce 说不可以回去的话，这样会不会被影响还是什么
？Actually.
Can you repeat the?
Because now it's actually go through online learning, face-to-face learning. So is there actually any issue for them to learn or to absorb the knowledge from the lecture?
At the moment, there's no issue lah, because I find that the students, some of them, they actually prefer to study everything online. Okay. Depends on also the student but in terms of like the learning progress, I find that when the student learn online, right, with the 老师 even closer interaction, because every time also 每一天 also they will ask 有 question 的问题so they will actually ask the problems, everything, then I will actually answer through either online or either on WhatsApp Okay, so I feel the interaction is stronger.
或者是如果学生有时间的话，我可以有几个例子，我可以跟学生 share 吧，因为这是我今年在做讲解课程里面回答最多的问题，反而不是讲解课程，是讲解 online 的课程问题，因为我觉得 online 上课已经是一个常态，不管你今天是什么行业都好，那 online 的这一个 platform 已经跟我们脱离不了关系，因为连小学、幼稚园的学生，他们现在都要 online 上课，更何况如果我们是一个中学跟学院的学生，如果我们不能够接受的话，这样我们就会跟时代有很多的脱节。那如果你可以想象得到，以前我们要吃火锅，你一定是去火锅店聚会，很开心，大家一边聊天一边吃东西。而现在不能，但是我们也需要说，我们因为不能，所以我们就不做这个行业。所以你可以看到，连 Steamboat 这样子的东西都可以变成一个网上的 business， 然后它可以把这个锅包括汤送去你的家。所以我们要随着不同的阶段呢，去改变我们的生活方式。其实 online 上课，我去年遇到很多学生，因为他们也是因为担心疫情，不想 online 上课的情况之下，就足足1整年在家没有去报读学院，他们就等到疫情比较好的时候才上课。结果没有想到今年的疫情更加的糟糕，所以很多的家长、父母亲在家已经没有办法，因为1整年在家你不能工作，也不能出门，然后也不能够上课，你就真的是在家浪费1年的时间，所以变成他们今年不管疫情很严重的情况之下，还是让他们去用上课的方式去进行上课了。所以我觉得，如果你们是害怕上课，我们可以在这里讲，其实老师的责任会更大，所以老师不会允许学生上课不明白、做不到功课的这些事情发生，所以老师都会透过来，我们现在都会用 Zoom， 你看很普遍，对不对 ？Google Team 来上课，那你们交功课呢，也可以透过 email、WhatsApp， 那你们可以 call 老师，老师也可以在电话里面跟你们讲解，这完全是不会有很大的问题。加上如果说很多学生他们以前是上学去上课，因为习惯了嘛，但如果你要换成一个新的常态的时候，你会觉得很抗拒。我本身也是一样，我会很抗拒，尤其是我对电脑真的是很难碰的人，所以我会又全部 online， 但是已经习惯下来，我觉得已经没有问题。最重要就是以前呢，如果你们去上课8点半上课，你可能7点就要出门，因为你要坐交通要塞车，然后你来到学校要吃东西，然后进班要早早等老师，然后化妆要想今天穿什么衣服。但如果你今天是 online 上课，8点半的课，我跟你讲，你8点3睡醒刷个牙开电脑，你就已经可以上课，而且你一边上课一边喝咖啡吃饼干，老师也不会说cannot stop， 不会，所以这是有很多的方便。所以所有的事情有好的一面，也有不好的一面，看我们怎么去看待。所以我只能够跟学生讲 ，online 上课已经是不能够跟我们脱离关系，你喜欢不喜欢，你还是要去应付。
对，讲得非常好。
对，因为他们其实是担心，因为像以前他们中学可能
对
不好的那种印象这样子咯。
对，所有新的东西出来的时候都会担心，也会比较少的抗拒。当然，如果你习惯了之后，就不会是一个难题了。
好，像你刚刚讲的，要 share 什么东西给我们看是吗？
你们有什么东西想要看吗？还是学生还是有什么问题？如果他们没有固定的问题，我就不说。我担心学生已经可能有一些部分，好像有一些很熟悉的名字，我已经看过2次了。我怕等一下我又在讲同样的东西，他们觉得很烦。还是如果你们有固定的问题想要知道的，那我们就针对学生想要知道的问题，跟他们回答，会比较好一点。因为像我们的系主任呢很难得，他会抽时间，因为平时老师都要上课，而且他们都要看学生的功课。如果说学生对于 graphic 这一个部分有很多很专业或者是很深入的问题想要问的，可以趁这一次的机会，然后我们的系主任艾青老师有在这边的时候，可以针对这些课题去跟他探讨或者是研究。至于说那些课程多少年啊、学费啊、宿舍这些，我们随时都可以跟学生回答，因为我们随时都会在线上。所以比较专业在 graphic 的，可以先问老师。那我们因为老师有在，学生都可以跟老师去检查。如果不怎么会画画，可以读吗？Actually, if I'm not well in drawing, can I still join graphic designs?
Okay, I got a lot of 我很多学生是 study graphic design actually background 是没有 design 的 talent 的 okay, so actually it depends on when you actually come to our course, right? If you know everything already, then we don't have to teach you lor, okay? So might as well you just come, okay? Then we will actually teach you everything from one dot. You learn everything from scratch, from zero, okay? So don't have sometimes when you actually study design, right, you won't realize that, I never draw before. But when you actually come to the course, there's a lot of our students, when they start to draw, then they say, 我是有 talent 的，我可以 draw 的, you know? Sometimes if you never try, you never know. All right, that's why we are trying to give more opportunity to students, whoever that who have never experienced before, they can come. Because all this will be teach from zero, okay? Even software 嘛，
So 你可以看到，那 MIA 的入学标准，我们没有说学生一定要学画画，所以从这一点你就可以知道说，我们没有要很厉害画画的学生而进来。因为你是 science stream 的，你没有读过 design 或者是没有学过画画 is fine。因为我们的所有的课程 ，no matter 你报读哪一个 diploma，first semester we go through foundation studies， 就是基础班。所以在 first semester 里面，你会学到 painting、drawing、visual communication， 你会学到 structure 去做模型，dot 线怎么画，然后怎么去 research， 怎么去做研究，所有这些全部呢，都会在你们第一个学期里面先用很 basic 的方式，慢慢一步一步去引导你们。所以如果你不会画画的话，也不用担心吧。你不会画画 is fine， 但是你不能够抗拒画画，因为读 design 的话 ，first semester 老师会给你们一些画画的课。所以要 build up， 你们要通过画画，你才可以看到整个 visual， 整个画画的那个 structure 是在什么地方，你才会懂得怎么去 present 你的 artwork。所以画画是必须要经过的一个管道，但是不需要很厉害画画。所以如果你不会画画，但是你不抗拒，你要来读 design 也没有问题。因为其实设计呢跟画画没有很怎么讲？你不是读 fine art， 你不是读 illustration 的课程，所以它不需要说我一定要很厉害画画，跟每一天画画。So， 它只是每一个设计过程的一个踏脚石，就是会经过的步。那你过了之后，所有的东西都是通过电脑、idea、software、research 去把它 present 出来的。学费大概是多少的话，这边的话学费for 我们 diploma in graphic design 的学费大概是36,000 for 2年半。当然学费是不用一次过给完，我们是分学期给。所以呢，36,000的学费是分成6个 semester 来缴付。学费的部分你们也可以透过那个升学中心那边拿得到，当然也可以跟我们这里拿得到，是 OK 的。
对对，只要有一颗想学的心就 OK 了。这样子想问就是，有学生问他会不会要每一天都要好像创造一个画作出来这样，他会很担心自己的那种灵感不够这样子。
Can I know what's the because 不好意思，我不會讀。
對，有啲學生真係覺得成日都係咪我經常每一日都出一個作品出嚟咧？
唔係嘅，因為佢哋 actually depends on 佢哋係based on 佢嘅 assignment 係點樣樣嘅咯。佢唔係每一日都係要出一樣嘢嘅，所以多數係佢哋係 when 我哋係 actually from slowly from zero。That's why I say from 慢慢我哋係 actually 俾佢哋個 assignment 係佢會學到 by the end of 嗰個 semester 係咪 foundation 佢哋會知道原來設計一樣嘢 design OK from 好似 apply colour or apply shape 係咪？原來係有咁嘅過程嘅 ，OK，so 唔會好似會趕佢哋做you know straight away 每一日都要做一樣嘢，唔係咁樣嘅咯，冇咁變態啦 ，OK。So don't worry about that 啦。我有學生係咪佢哋做嗰個 design they all actually I realize 佢哋好似畫唔到But when 佢哋 apply computer work 係咪？哇，真係好唔同佢哋可以做 apply 嗰個how to say on digital 佢哋 digital platform 可以畫到But on sketch 係咪佢用手嚟畫嗰啲又唔得I got students like that. Okay, so as what Joe said, graphic design is not about just everything drawing. It's not fine art.Okay, so for graphic design, it's mostly everything is like all computer-based one, so don't have to worry.
我看到学生有一个问题，我蛮想知道 graphic design 有学习格式搭理论吗？我不太明白它的格式搭理论吧。我可以讲的就是 for all diploma program 在 MIA 来讲的话呢，我们都一定会有 theory 跟 practical 但是 diploma 的 program 呢，一般上比较注重在 practical 的部分，比较 hands on。我们可以讲勉强来讲它是75%跟25% theory。因为如果你要去做 hands on， 你要去做那种 skills 的东西的话，你一定要有理论去 support 你把它完成。比如说老师今天要你去做一个 logo design， 你一定要知道logo design 的设计的 的原理是什么 ，concept 是什么，你要怎么去研究logo design 有几种。然后你要先知道你的 client 的 requirement， 他需要的颜色，他需要的 font， 他需要的格式，跟他公司的那个风格是怎么样。所以这些都是比较 basic 的一些理论的 understanding。当你有了简单的理论，那你做了 research， 你才能够把你的设计做出来。做了设计之后，当然你要去做 presentation， 因为美跟不美是很主观，你不能够只是说设计一个东西出来给我看，然后因为美跟不美的话，也 depends on 每个人的那个喜欢跟感觉，所以你必须要懂得怎么去做 presentation， 所以你才能够知道哦，你去见 client， 你的这个 presentation 往往你讲得很吸引，人家被你讲的这个 presentation 而吸引了，人家会考虑你而不会考虑别人，所以这个就是读 graphic design 学生你要学会的，不仅仅只是 design， 你要懂得怎么去跟你的 client， 或者是你的 designer， 或者是你的公司老板去做 communicate。请问有 scholarship 吗？是有的 ，MI 有提供奖学金，所以只要你们在 SBM 成绩里面有3个 A 或以上，就可以申请到我们这里的奖学金。当然，我们的课程也受到政府承认，所以你们也可以申请政府的贷款，就是所谓的 PT、BTN loan， 或者是爸爸妈妈的 EBF， 如果他们有公积金，也可以申请公积金的那个account 度的钱出来作为你们学费的 support。至于 scholarship 可以拿到多少，或者是怎么申请到，我相信你们可以透过升学中心那边拿到相关的资料，或者是你们也可以留下我在荧幕上面的电话号码，你们要 text 我也 OK。你们让我知道说你们今天是讲座的学生，然后你们想要了解什么东西，这样我就知道说，我应该要怎么回答你们的问题。
OK， 就这边有学生问是说，是不是一定要是不是一定要进本院的 foundation 吗？有这样子问哦。
Okay， 基本上我们 diploma 的课程6个 semester 嘛，第1个 semester 一定是叫做 foundation 的课程，它不是 extra 出来，不用多读的，它就是 first semester 我们先从 foundation 基础班先读。学生可能有很多的错误的了解，因为他们以为 foundation 呢叫做大学先修班，它是要读1年的，所谓的 foundation 好像 A-level 那些，在 MIA 我们不是，我们的 foundation 呢是已经在你的 diploma 里面的 first semester 就可以 cover 里面的 subject。所以它不会延迟你们毕业，也不用 extra 多拿，它已经是在你们的 diploma 的 first semester 里面的课程 subject 里面完成。
等一下，像 Stella 刚刚那个问题，他应该是格式理论这个，还是问到好像类似 interior design 这样，他怕是有一个格式这样的吧？是吗？
还是那个学生你要开你的麦，然后在这里